This is the Honest Sauce intro song. I won't take too long because it's spicy, yeah. Oh, so spicy, yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Honest Sauce and Spicy Stuff Reviews. And today is another hot sauce day, and I got this for my birthday. And it's called, I got like a 5-pack, so I got more of these, but I'm going to start off with their Verde sauce. It's I believe it's pronounced Cutino Sauce Company hot sauce. This is their Verde, and where are they from? They are from Phoenix, Arizona. So I have high hopes for this, them being from Phoenix and everything, but before I get started, I just want to go ahead and ask you guys to make sure if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you so choose to, as well as the notification bell, because apparently that's how the world keeps turning around. I'm not sure. All right. And also, go check out my YouTube page if you get a chance. I try to post the videos on there, so if you're on YouTube or on Facebook a little bit more, you'll see them pop up if you follow me on Facebook, and that's about it. I don't have any other like social media. Should I be doing social media? I don't know. I feel like it's bad for my brain, but also, if you guys have any questions, comments, or recommendations for hot sauce or spicy stuff, please put that down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And just so you know, at the next video, I'm going to be doing a challenge, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be kind of like one of my bigger challenges. I haven't really done one in a while, and I wanted to do it. I've been trying to amp up my spice level with some hotter sauces, so keep an eye out for that, all right? So we're going to go ahead and do the little talk segment of the video. If you guys are new to the channel, I do a little talk every week where I just talk about like some ideas, like not really hot sauce related or anything, more like my personal life related or things that I've gone through or things that I've learned in life and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But first, if you want to skip ahead and don't want to do that and you just want to see the hot sauce reaction, I will put a timestamp down here below right now and you can go ahead and fast forward to it. All right, so let's go ahead and do the talk. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with organized religion, and just a disclaimer, I am not saying anything about anything anyone believes. What your own experience in life is yours. I'm just going to tell you my experience and why I have certain opinions about organized religion. So let's go ahead and get into it. I didn't necessarily grow up going to church. As a matter of fact, most of my like really super childhood, early years, there wasn't really. I mean, there was Christmas and stuff, and I kind of understood the story of it, you know. But we never like went to church. If we did go to church, it was for somebody getting married or something like that, and they were always very kind of like seemed very strange places to me. Then I would say about when I was like in third grade, I feel like that's when things like changed. I never really had one opinion one way or another about churches though, you know, for most of my early childhood. So I wasn't really exposed to it. I didn't really know a lot of people that did church. My friend went to Catholic church. And I do remember him getting like confirmed and stuff, and that was a big deal to his mom and everything. He didn't seem to really care one way or another about it. But I remember that. But as far as like any kind of religious stuff, I just never had that exposure when I was a child. So yeah, and around second and third grade, my mother went to this TV evangelist thing at the Anaheim Convention Center, and she came back a different person. And it was at that point there was all of a sudden talk about going to church and how we were going to find a church and how great it was going to be and like all this stuff. And yeah, so like they started looking at what churches to go to that kind of aligned with what she was exposed to that evening, and it ended up we went to Central Assembly of God, and it was one of the ones in Anaheim. I'm not sure which one. I know there's a few. It was by a radio station. And it was because of this like experience that she had that was probably pretty powerful in order to make her shift the way she did was the reason that all of a sudden we were all going to church. I started going to Sunday school all of a sudden. My brothers and sisters were going to the youth group and everything. I was doing Royal Rangers, which is like a Boy Scout thing within the church. But I started feeling, because like when you're like, I knew I was gay when I was like probably 6, 7-ish. Like I knew I had feelings at that point for boys. I just like ignored it and just said, oh, this is a phase I'm going through, you know, it's just a phase. But there was a lot of teachings about, you know, how homosexuality is bad. And that was really kind of the main thing that kind of impacted me the most, was this fear that was instilled in me about who I was, these feelings I had inside me, and how wrong they were, and how I was damned to go to a place where I was going to be tortured for eternity. You know? That was disturbing to a young boy. Like I said, I was like in what, like second, third, maybe even fourth grade at that point. And I just remember starting to feel like really ashamed of who I was, and that I didn't really deserve the love. If God didn't love me, I didn't deserve the love of other people. Kind of was that that was what I was thinking at the time when I look back at it, and what I learned was to be ashamed of who I was. Yeah, so we were going to church, you know, and like I said, I would do Sunday school, and it was like I just remember not wanting to get up in the morning. Oh my God, I just remember not wanting to get up in the morning on Sunday that early, because we had to get up early because it was like we lived in Yorba Linda, and it was a ways over, so to the church. So we got up early on Sunday morning, so we were there for the morning service, and then we would go and sometimes we would go and get lunch on the way home, or like breakfast, a late breakfast, brunch, I guess, on the way home. And then we would go home. My dad would like work around the house and stuff, or watch football if it was still on, because on the West Coast football comes on like super early in the morning, so you kind of miss a lot of it if you go to church early in the morning. Yeah, we were doing that, and I wasn't really doing good in the Royal Rangers. I got promoted. We went away on this. It was like a whole weekend camping trip kind of thing, where everybody gathered. I think it was a long weekend, so it was like a 4-day camping trip, and everybody like from all the different churches that have the Royal Rangers, they all converged on this campground. They had this big event and stuff, and I did. I got noticed by the like quote, I guess, scout leader, you would call it. And after that, I got promoted to patrol leader. So I was part of this, like, and it sounds creepy when I say it now, patrol leader. Anyway, I got promoted to like that, which is kind of like, you know, a ranking within it. It's like the next up ranking you could get. And yeah, that was like cool. I was all excited, and I was getting really into it. And they started showing movies and stuff at church. I remember they showed this one. It was about the rapture, because that's the big thing. A big thing they talked about was like the rapture and stuff. And I remember it's like the movie, people just disappear one day because they're worthy of going to heaven, and everybody else is left behind to be taken over by people who want to cut your head off unless you get a tattoo on your head or your hand. That was a little traumatic for a kid to see in church at that point. And then I was like, fuck, the only way I'm going to get to heaven is if I let them cut my head off in a public square. And that seemed like that would, like, suck. So one of the features of, like, the church we went to was there was the sermon, of course. They would do baptizing people some Sundays. Some Sundays they would do a communion. It wasn't every Sunday. It was just, like, on certain occasions they would do it. You know, there was music and all kinds of stuff, and there was also, like, people would speak in tongues a lot, and I don't know if you've ever heard that, but I'll put a link to a video with this that shows people doing that, maybe, and you can go look. But there was people speaking in tongues. There was, like, faith, people being healed or touched by God through the minister, where he put his hand on their heads and they would fall back and the ushers would catch them and they would lay on the ground unconscious for a period of time up in the front, in front of everybody. When you're a kid, you see this and you think it's like pretty legit. And my mother and my father did that. I got baptized there. I was baptized in the church there. And they actually dunk you in like a tub. Like you're in like this hot tub thing, and they actually put you in the water and then pull you out. Yeah, you know, my parents were doing the up in front and speaking in tongues and being like knocked out by the power of God through the minister and stuff like that. So it was really weird when like all of a sudden my dad like kind of like stopped going. He just stopped going. Like he would just stay home on Sundays and we would go with my mom. And to me that seemed a little weird at first. Well, not really weird. It seemed like he was just staying home like once, twice to do some work around the house. But then we would start coming home and he would be out by the pool in his bathing suit. Like with like either like a beer or like a margarita, you know? And he would be like, you know, in a Speedo getting all tan and shit when we get home from church. And that's when I started noticing the tension between my parents. And this kind of like, they weren't a unit anymore. They were two separate people doing separate things with their lives, and there was a lot of tension, and there was a lot more arguing happening, things like that. Yeah, eventually my dad moved out, and they separated, and they were separate for about a year or so. And I do remember doing visitations with my father at the time, and that'll be another video, but I do remember seeing him occasionally and just feeling like I was very attached to my mother, even though she was exhibiting like really strange behavior with all the religion and everything. She would talk like, you know, ithis and tithis and whethereth, such a lovely day the Lord hath given us today. We should be grateful and praise him. You know, shit like that. She would say shit like that. And not that it's shit, people believe it, but she would say things like that. And it was just kind of like, it started becoming like old. It started to feel like you would feel this internal like kind of like pullback when she would start really going into it. But she was like that all the time, you know. Yeah, so eventually they separated, and then my mom one day just told us, you know, I'm not gonna keep going to court and stuff. I'm not gonna try to get custody. You're gonna live with your dad, and that's how that goes. And I'll tell that in another story too. But this was more about my religious experience and stuff, and it kind of messed my family up, to be honest. You know, it messed me up a little bit too. You know, I have other issues, but that messed me up a little bit, and it's affected me for a while. And that'll lead into like kind of my next talk that I'm going to do on the next video. So, which will be like my spiritual kind of quest that I've been doing for a majority of my life. So I'll talk more about that in the next video. But that's kind of where that religion led me, was away from it. You know, for not just being gay, but for a multitude of reasons. It kind of pushed me away. And then, you know, when you learn about some of the things from history involving religion and stuff, it kind of you start to see a theme with a lot of it. You know, and I'm not saying all religions are the same or that all religions did horrible things or anything like that, so don't misconstrue what I'm saying, but you know, on average there's been some pretty bad shit that has been done in the name of religion or in the name of, you know, God or other deities or anything and stuff like that. Gosh, everybody needs to stop texting. And I know I'm not the only one that have had experience with this. I know a lot of people in America aren't raised religiously, that there are certain areas of the country where religion plays more of a role in community and isn't necessarily like a thing. But I do feel that any real belief system that is created to bring humanity together and make people be more empathetic, caring, loving, and giving of other human beings, as well as like this ball we live on, is probably a good thing. It's the ones that kind of use viewpoints to put others below them, or to judge other people, or to make themselves feel separate from other people. Those religions and those ideologies probably aren't the best and should be probably looked at and scrutinized and criticized a lot more. And that's just where I'm at on it. If you like this kind of content, please let me know down below. I enjoy talking about some of these more deeper topics and stuff and kind of getting that out. And maybe it helps somebody. Maybe it makes you feel better about yourself. Maybe it makes you question something. Maybe it pisses you off. I don't know. But if you like it and you want me to keep doing it, put down below whether or not you're watching this or not. All right? I would appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get back to the hot sauce tasting. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that talk. Hope it wasn't too deep. I'm not really sure what it is when I record it. I kind of record it separately, so probably why I look different. And now, the first time in a tank top, it's kind of hot out today. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Cutino Sauce Company Verde sauce. There's something written on the back, so of course we're going to go ahead and read that. It says, Cutino Sauce Company, inspired by a secret family recipe, makes only the highest quality sauces using fresh, natural ingredients. We hope you enjoy this thoughtfully made gourmet hot sauce. For recipe ideas, pairing suggestions, and more, check out our website and social media too. There's also something else. So it says, Verde, a rich tangy mix of tomatillos and jalapenos for a verdant medium heat. Is that how you say that? Verdant? 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 Is that a word? What does verdant mean? Green with grass or other rich vegetation, and it's pronounced verdant. Verdant? Verdant. There's also a website. I'll put that down in the description below, as always. But let's go ahead and check out the ingredients and then get opening this bad boy. We have poblano, tomatillo, vinegar, onion, jalapeno, habanero, mustard, sugar, salt, lime juice, and ghost pepper dried? So this might be like actually hotter than I was thinking. Oh wow. So this is going to be an amped up green sauce. So this might be like a special experience. So I'm pretty excited now that I read the ingredients. Let's open it and give it a taste. All right. Now if we look at it, I mean, it's a nice green sauce. It looks pretty thin though. And kind of pulpy. You see a lot of seeds in there, but it looks really kind of liquidy the way that bubble's moving around. But that can be deceptive sometimes. So let's see how it pours. Oh. There we go. It's thinner. I mean, it's drippage. It's thinner. But there's like chunky stuff in there. Oh shoot, I'm just dripping it everywhere, everybody. But there's like chunky stuff in there. So it looks really good. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy a taste and see what happens. Oh man, that's got like a really freaking complex smell. Wow. Hold on. I gotta look at this again, the ingredients. Dude, I think it's the mustard that's really kind of accentuating everything. My mouth is like watering now. It smells super, super good. I've never really smelled a green sauce that had that kind of mustardy background thing going on. So I'm super stoked. Let's go ahead and try this. This is Cutino Sauce Company Verde. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that's really good. Wow. Very savory. It has like a bit of a prickly sting, like from the hot peppers, from the habanero and the dried ghost peppers. But it's not blowing me out. It's a little bit ramped up of a heat, like way more than a normal green sauce, which I really, really like that it's hotter. And it's just really tasty. I'm like at like maybe a 1, if that. The initial ramp of the heat though was kind of like, oh, this feels like it could be a really hot, lingering kind of sauce, but it subsides relatively quick. All the flavors come through. The poblano, tomatillos, the vinegar is delicious. Jalapenos, I'm not so sure if I tasted jalapenos, but there was definitely like this very complex kind of like pepper flavor going on throughout the whole sauce. And that mustard in the background is super nice. I really, really, really like that. I really like that, and I think it blends well with the vinegar. Yeah, I wonder if it's like just plain distilled vinegar, probably. And then the lime juice, I think the acidity and the flavor from the lime juice adds to it and gives it that kind of Mexican vibe thing going on. But this stuff is super good. I'm gonna eat this whole bottle. Oh, my cat, he just keeps meowing. I'm gonna eat this whole bottle. I'm gonna use it on tacos. I'm gonna use it on breakfast things like, tofu scramble. You can put it on eggs, any kind of eggs. It would go good. It would go good on like potatoes, like home fried potatoes or hash browns. Be probably super good on mac and cheese. I think that's probably a given for this. It would be delicious on that. Really versatile though. I think you could go seafood with it, or you could even use it on steak, or beef. You could it will cover a wide range because it's not so much that it's going to blow out the more delicate flavors of like say fish or shrimp or chicken or other seafoods, but it will stand up to like pork and like heavier meats like beef and maybe even like lamb and stuff. It would probably go pretty good on that, or like any kind of wild game. Be great on salads and salad dressings and marinades. I mean, just the whole gambit with this. This is a really versatile sauce, I think, and I'm looking forward to consuming this bottle. So now I'm kind of excited about their other ones, and I'm looking forward to trying them when I get to them. If anybody's ever had this sauce, let me know down in the comments what you think about it. If you've tried any of their other ones, let me know what you think about them or like what your favorite one is. And if you have any like hot sauce suggestions, let me know. I'm loving looking for hot sauces. I still have a bunch I'm going to be doing videos on, but I'm always looking for new things. So actually, I could use a little bit more spicy stuff. So anybody got some spicy stuff, let me know. All right. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, appreciate you a ton. And other than that, it's that time I tell you to keep loving yourself and take care of yourself and just push that out to the people around you. Just for now. I think you might see a little bit of a change, and I think we need that, don't you? All right? Till next time, everybody. Love you all. Peace. This is the Honest Sauce intro song. I won't take too long because it's spicy, yeah. Oh, so spicy, yeah. I might talk about religion. Losing my religion. All right.